Okay, so I understand this is supposed to be a day in a life video, but I'm not used to shooting day in a life videos, and I haven't shot anything all day. I did shoot a little 4-minute clip while I went on my walk today, but it's unacceptable, so I'm not gonna add it. But so today's my 2-year anniversary. Um, 2 years from the day that I walked away from a job in a pandemic, moved to LA, one of the most expensive places on earth, and just started embarking on a closer relationship with God, moving in the spirit, basically walking with Him, and kind of just been on this adventure. I try to plan. I have goals. I have things I want to accomplish, but um, it's a different life when you surrender yourself to God and you're obedient. Not saying that I'm always obedient, but I try to be. I mean, since I quit my job originally, it's been 2 years and I've moved a few times. This go around, within this past year, I started off this last year in Charlotte, so I was there for a few months, and for the majority of the time that I was there, I didn't know why. Like, all right, God, I'm here. Give me instruction. I was able to move. I moved with zero money, and still He made a way. It's so interesting. It's so interesting to watch. God continue to make a way, literally out of no way, and I just trust Him. I just trust Him. People may like look at my life and be like, or even my bank account, and say like, you logically cannot do this, like this doesn't make sense on paper, but I just step out and just I take a step and things just come together. And it's not always the way that I want it to look, and I'm gonna go in way more detail in my podcast that's gonna be coming out next month. But just to give you an idea, like, I'm not always obedient. I really truly try to be, though. But it really just comes down to being able to hear Him clearly and be in prayer and fast. I live a fasted lifestyle, and read more. I've been reading more in the Bible I've read more in the last few months than I have in a while. Um, it's literally like he's put me in positions where it's like if I don't read the Bible, if I don't, like, those are where my instructions are. Literally, he'll speak to me during prayer, or when I'm meditating, or when I'm reading the Bible, or I can be in a shower. I mean, He speaks to me through people. He speaks to me in my alone time. He speaks to me through um, situations. But anyway, it's just been a journey. But in regards to a day in the life, so I got up a little bit later than normal, but I had a Zoom call scheduled. It was supposed to be about 30 minutes to an hour. It ended up being 3.5 hours, but it was a really productive 3.5 hours. So I'm just kind of catching up right now. I went on a walk and tried to, in 4 minutes, tell you about how this last year went and how it just didn't go as planned, and a lot of things that happened that I did not foresee ever happening in my life, ever, that happened. Um, oh, God, Holy Spirit. Um, Anywhere from being attacked to losing my car because I couldn't pay for it, um, to um, being in my parents' house until it's time for me to go to the next place. Like, I'm being led to another place, which I'm not going to disclose until I know exactly when I'm supposed to go. But so much has happened that I'm gonna go in detail about in my podcast. But and it's called God's Property Podcast. It's basically a diary of it's just gonna be my diary of my travels, inspired by God's property. Because I'll be like at the beach, I'll be at a lake, I'll be hiking, just but the first season are gonna be um basically my experiences of like the 8 last places I've been. So there's been um I've traveled internationally and I've traveled across country. So it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be cool place to share my. There's a lot of things. Sorry to keep doing that. But anyway, back to a day in a life. So right now I'm finishing up this book, which literally in prayer the other day, the Lord was like, get it done. It's been 2 years now. And last week he's like, get it done. So I'm finishing it up now. It's actually gonna be a different type of book I haven't seen. So the vision he gave me for it is gonna be so cool. It's gonna be so dope. I'm excited about it. Just need to get it finished. And then what I was saying was surrendering your life to God. I just gotta be flexible and open, because things are not gonna happen as planned. I had ended up going back to work in June, like after I had to give up my car, which I refuse to let the devil shame me for it. But it was embarrassing. I felt shame. I was like, shame. I just felt shame. I'm like, do you know who I am? Like, for me to not have a car, like, do you know? Like, there was a little bit of that. Just a little bit of it. But God has humbled me so much that once I got over the shock of it all, because a part of me was like, okay, God, so you mean to tell me a little bit over a year ago I had a perfectly paid for car that I didn't want to turn in? You wanted me to switch my car in for another car, a nicer car. You wanted me to be dependent on you. That's what I got from me having to change out my car, right? So not only did you tell me to leave my job and move, you told me to upgrade my car. And mind you, I upgraded my car before I quit my job, because I tried to hold on to that job. I tried to transfer to LA with that job, which is why I felt comfortable getting a new car in the first place. But God was like, after I got the car, God was like, nope, you're not going to transfer. I told you to go there without without a job and with a new car, because I want you to be dependent on me. Basically, that's how I felt. Like, was one of the reasons why he wanted me to get a new car. So I was like, okay, fine. You want me to get a new car? You gonna pay for it, Lord. You gonna show me how I can pay for it. And I was able to pay for it for a while, and then for a while it wasn't. And so it was either like when I moved, it was like either you pay your car note or you pay for a place to stay. Like, and again, a lot of this is going to be in my podcast, but so I had to get over that little shock, because just because God has you to do something specific doesn't mean it's gonna be there forever. And then again, and there's times where I'm like, well, shoot, did I do something wrong? Did I hear you right? There's times where you question, but the thing is, all things work together for your good, for those who love the Lord and that are called. according to his purpose. And so after I got out of that little shock of it all, I was like, okay, God, I know there's a reason. And shortly after that, I started working, which I hated every bit of it. Worked for a couple months, and out of that job, oh my God. You want to talk about ideas, connections. So much came out. So much came from that job. Although I don't have a car still, and I don't necessarily need it because I need to be in one place to finish writing. Just these last few months have just been, I feel like they have been accelerated. I've been in situations where I've been able to utilize my spiritual gifts. I'm learning more about it. I'm learning more about God and His ways. It's just been a blessed year, even though it looks crazy from the outside looking in. So I'm excited to share more. I'm excited to take these platforms more serious, because he's the only reason why I would ever start a YouTube channel. The only reason why I would ever be on Instagram, because I hate social media with the passion. I hate it. I'm learning to love it because it's what I have to do, and I have a lot of things coming up. I have the podcast coming up. I have my publication coming out in a couple weeks called Break Daily Bread. My podcast, God's Property Podcast, coming out next month. I have a book coming out as soon as I can find an illustrator. Actually, I'm gonna try and get it. I'm gonna try and get a book agent. That's the goal. And then we'll see where these television scripts go. I mean, we'll see how it goes. Sending some inquiries out. We'll see what happens. And that's just the writing part of my life. I ain't even covered any of the businesses that I'm building. So I have a lot going on. No car, no house. No, I'm not living the American dream, but I'm at peace because, listen to this, I'm at peace because I'm not where God showed me I would be. And I'm excited because it's a far cry from where I am right now, and I'm just excited to see how it happens, how it all unfolds. I'm so excited. So just gotta have a positive mindset at this point. I'm just interested to see how everything unfolds, and I don't know. My life's an adventure. It's cool. It's fun. You really have to be open and love God and trust God to live a life like this. But I'm excited to see what happens.